Participants in this course do not need to have expert artistic knowledge, nor do they need to have professional technical skills. I want our 9 weeks together to feel like the artist salons of old, where peers would gather regularly to grapple with the agonies and the ecstasies of their creative callings. I want to offer a generative alternative to the mostly competitive spaces where artists gather today, if we even do gather. Alongside the course participants, I want to co-create an antidote to our loneliness and isolation as individual creators. But mostly I want us, and I want myself, to reaffirm our devotions, to reconsecrate our deep longings to our callings to create, not only for our own benefits, but for the benefit of our communities and for the world at large. Now, if I could, for a moment, let me just share some of the weekly themes with you. Week 1, how did we get here? Art and artists today. This is going to set the framework of where we are at this moment as creators. Week 2, ancestral epistrophe. Daimon, angel, and shaman. We'll be looking at the destiny, the calling for creative individuals, and the soul guides that help us remember that calling. Week 3, 1,000 voices, Jung and Jungians on art and artists. We'll explore some of the most iconic, penetrating, and I think necessary perspectives on art, creativity, art making, and the powers of art in that week. Week 4, we'll turn our attention to archetypal psychology and the appraisals of James Hillman and others in his circle on art and artists, soul making and art making. Week 5, we'll look at the artist's relationship to the marketplace, something that all of us who have made anything and have tried to present it to others has probably had some difficulty with. Week 6, artists and their enemies. I think this is going to be a particularly rich week of discussion, of looking at the forces that are arrayed against artists, some probably fairly obvious to us today, and others maybe not so obvious. Week 7, we'll look at magic, mysticism, and medicine. We'll dive deeply into the actual powers, the magical powers, if we turn back to Jane Hirschfield, of the arts. In week 8, we'll look at the idea of creative discipline. The artist is a type of activist and alchemist. And in week 9, we'll round out the sessions with a week devoted to Renaissance and reconsecration. And here is where we can share what we've created throughout the 9 weeks with each other. Of course, they'll be sharing throughout, but I'm hopeful, and I want to encourage participants and myself to create something significant or a body of work over these 9 weeks, something that's going to propel them into the future, to keep going